I hope that not even the gates of hell open for this bird. I hate this amazingly designed game. It revealed the sides of me I haven't seen since the days of playing those stupid rage games, and this ain't even a game which is designed to make you hate it. I think I just suck. Before I continue my rage-filled look at this game, I should ask the question. Should you play Kuru Kuru Kururin? Greetings, YouTube! The name of this creature that almost cried because of a bird in a helicopter is Evening, and I tend to talk about games you probably never heard about. Today, on the menu, I got a Game Boy Advance game that dares to call itself a puzzle game. It was developed by Eighting, who mainly focus on making anime fighting games, like Bleach hit the Soul series. Kuru Kuru Kururin was released in 2001, which means there were two tragedies that happened that year. Up to you which you think is worse. Here's a little problem with playing Game Boy games on a big monitor. They kinda don't look that good, because the screen they were made for was small. So blowing it up for the big screen just looks messy. Now, if I were to do this to the screen, game looks beautiful. Problem with playing on a smaller screen is specific to me. This looks ass on YouTube. If I was playing on my own, and I'd recommend if you play it, to use a shader that shrinks the screen in a similar manner. So my compromise is this koko-aio shader, which changes the resolution, adds some little cube overlay, which in my opinion looks the best while not needing a magnifying glass to see. Like always, shaders are a personal choice, but to me, they are almost a non-question. As to me, every game improves drastically with them on. So, here's the story of the game. Your bird siblings are missing. Mother asks you to find them. That's it. You get in your stupid helicopter and go around the stupid world finding your stupid siblings. The game is pretty short. There are 10 worlds with 3 levels each. A level takes around a minute more or less, but the length of the game hides in the fact that in order to beat a level, you will have to try and fail and try and fail after time and again and fail until the pain of failure numbs your brain. The game is quite pretty. The backgrounds are colorful and every world is unique looking. The strong visual language helps with the gameplay as well, as it's quite easy to notice the path forward. While the music starts off being fun and whimsical, over time it does begin to degrade your sanity little by little, but not as much as dying once again, because that stupid bird decided to spin too slow. Okay, here is the hardest part to admit. As much as I despise this game and wish that little bird suffers in eternal pain, what makes my hate and pain worse is that the game is actually amazing. I hate how it's designed perfectly. There's a lot to unpack with this, so let's do it step by step. How does the game work? Hopefully, from seeing the gameplay already, you have an idea, but let me clarify it just in case. You can move. That's about the extent of your controls. You can also make weird sounds using other buttons, but they are there just to drive you even more insane as you begin to spam them after another failure. The only other control you have in your hands is your ability to speed up how fast you move. Holding A or B will make you go faster, while holding both A and B will speed you up even further, but the need to control speed is only really required for one world, the worst one of all, the cave. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, you can move. The helicopter on its own spins. If you hit a wall or any other object, you take damage. You have 3 lives. Go on then, get to the end without touching the walls. The gameplay is simple, yet effective in achieving everything it needs to. It might seem that the gameplay requires you to either memorize the route or get lucky. But you would be so wrong, as this is where a lot of the frustration of mine comes from. The game masterfully always guides you on what to do next, how to move in order to reach the end. You see, every single wall shows you the exact position your helicopter blades need to be in order to perfectly move around. While providing a guide on how to safely traverse the map, it also provides satisfaction, as there is something about seeing that bird just perfectly glide through these walls that tickles me just right. Weirdly enough, I think the closest game that Kuru Kuru Kururin reminds me of is Dark Souls. Yes, you heard me right. This is the Dark Souls of both puzzle games and Game Boy Advance games. Now let me justify myself. because I'm very confident in this comparison, at least until a single person disagrees with me, because then I'll fold, but we'll cross that bridge when the time comes. I want to specifically focus on the boss fights. Fighting good bosses in Souls games is addicting. It's mostly in the feeling of clear progression and your ability to keep getting good. You might not get the health bar lower than before, but you learn something. Maybe this time you understand how to dodge better, when is the better window to punish, and so on. Boss fights can feel like hitting your head against the wall, but every hit chips away at the wall until finally the wall breaks and you get that amazing feeling of beating a boss, which is just the best. Now Kuru Kuru makes me feel the same way. Quite literally, you keep hitting your head against the wall. Every run you either get further, or you learn at which turn is it better to move, when is it better to wait for a rotation. You learn more of the map so you know what to expect, and you keep doing it until you finally do it. And good lord, does it feel fantastic. Pretty much the same feeling as finally beating the gargoyles in Dark Souls 1. But this also comes with the other aspect of getting better at Dark Souls. Sometimes, all the knowledge and practice you acquired from other bosses leads you to first time kill a boss, which can feel just so powerful, as you feel like you got won over the game. You beat the system that wants to put you down. Same thing can happen in Kuru Kuru. You just get in the zone, you perfectly get the pattern the game wants you to follow, as you perfectly slide around every wall and reach the finish during one of your first tries. You just want to stand up and rub it in the face of that devious bird. So yeah, Kuru Kuru Kururin is the Dark Souls of puzzle games. And as a Dark Souls game, Kuru Kuru has a very interesting tutorial. You might think I'm referring to the first 5 levels that explain the mechanics. Oh no, it's so much different. The real tutorial takes place in the first couple worlds. They exist to ease you in, to get you to love the feeling of beating a level, so that when the real game and the real pain starts, at the cave world, you are already too far in to stop. I hope someone uses some dynamite so we get to see a cave in. Anyway, cave level is the first level where the mechanic of speeding up becomes important. Before, you don't need it, but the cave requires you to speed up so the timing of your spin lines up with the walls, and that takes the game from hard to absolutely infuriating. I despise the caves, in case you couldn't tell. I hate them. Every world has a bit of a theme. The aforementioned caves are filled with timing levels. There are some worlds where the main quirk is that the level is a maze. Other is just not a hard level, but a very long one. Some have bullets. This, together with the visuals, makes every world feel like it has an identity. If I had to point out a problem with the game, other than that smug smile the bird has, is that the game has an easy quit out point. As an example, let's take Celeste. Dying and reviving takes a second. You revive as soon as you die. As such, continuing is very easy and smooth. You're not even given a second to think, it's all about trying again. Now Kuru Kuru is different. Death sends you back to the level select screen, where you have to enter the level again with a single button press. It ain't much of a struggle to get back into the level, but what the game gives you is that 1 second of thought, maybe I shouldn't try again. Making the player decide to continue in a challenging game, where death is constant, is not a good idea, and it's the biggest flaw of the game. Let's talk extra content. Every level has 2 challenges. You can try and beat the level without taking any damage, or try and beat it faster than the given time. Both of these can be quite a challenge, and they require you to not only be good at the game, but to master every level specifically. Apparently, I read that after perfecting all the levels, you unlock extra levels that are extra hard. Of course, I didn't do that, as completing the levels alone was already a challenge for me. Speaking of challenges, the game also has a whole other bundle of levels. These are just smaller, simpler levels that you can beat quite fast. They are a lot easier compared to the main game, so for me, they became a way to blast off the anger when one of the main levels made me reach the point of no return, and my desire to strangle the bird was at an all-time high. The last part of the game that I need to mention is the customization. Every level inside it has a hidden, more like a little bit out of the way item of customization you can find. These change the shape of the helicopter or its color. You can also, on top of your helicopter, put all the bird siblings you find. Even though I didn't beat all the levels perfectly or very fast, the only goal I had for myself was to get all the customization items, which I did, and I'm very proud of it. And I think they provided a very nice additional challenge to the game. Also, the way you can customize the bird copter is just very cool. So, to answer the question, should you play Kuru Kuru Kururin? If you want to feel true, unfathomable pain and grow to despise a fictional bluebird, then yes. If you actually want to play a well-designed, unique puzzle game that perfectly scratches that itch of perfecting a boss fight, then the answer is also yes. Thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Check out my other Should You Play videos, or check out my other channel, Evening Man, for longer, more in-depth videos on games you probably never heard about. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, maybe even subscribe if you want more. See you next time. I've been Evening, and this has been Kuru Kuru Kururin, the Devil's Game.